Oh, that is a good cuppa. And you know what? I needed that tea. For all the tea I'm going to be spilling in this video, let me tell you. I'm going to do some tier lists today, and I'm going to do some well-known ships in TV. We all have those couples that we just love and adore that are on TV, these fictional characters that we fall in love with and fangirl or fanboy to our heart's content over him. So when I watch some scenes, maybe, I've never done it like this, but I wanted to have some fun, guys, and I hope you really enjoy this video. If you do enjoy it, smash that like button, guys. Let me know that you are. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and maybe I'll do more of these. But yeah, let's roll that intro and get stuck into it. Here we go. So I have whipped this bad boy up real quick, and I'm gonna explore him. Now, some of these I haven't seen since I was a youngster, so it's gonna be fun to reminisce and have a bit of nostalgia in there as well, and some new ones. I've given them a good mix, so I hope you guys will be happy with my picks. So where do we begin? I feel like I want to start with Angel and Buffy just because that's so fresh in my mind right now. Obviously, it's a yes from me from Buffy and Angel. There's just something so interesting about the two of them because they shouldn't be together. You have the vampire and then the slayer. The worst combination on paper, yet they're just drawn to each other like magnets, and the passion is very clear to see. They do be some spicy kisses. I don't think I'll ever forget that first kiss that they had in Buffy's room by the window, because to me it seemed very passionate, very quick. And first kisses are usually quite tender at first. Everyone's nervous. Not these guys. Straight in there. So yes, it is a yes from me. Do we watch a clip of that kiss all over again? Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put my reaction to said kiss right here. Oh. Wow, that happened way quicker than what I thought it would. Oh, Jesus. Oh, they're really going for it there. Oh, and there it is. There it is. So that's what I thought of that. Right, next up we have, I'll go Willow and Oz just because we've done Buffy, so it seems fitting. Willow and Oz is also a yes from me. The problem that I had with like Willow at first, problem is a loose term, but was her need to have Xander pay attention to her the way that she wanted him to, because obviously they were really good friends and everything was all romantic and lovely, but he did not reciprocate those feelings, and you cannot force that upon someone. So for me, I just wished Willow would find someone that really took notice of her and appreciated her for what she is, which is amazing, by the way. And Oz was that guy. So when he first rocked up, I thought, I'm intrigued by him. He's a band, he's got a bit of mystery to him, he's a werewolf, spoiler alert. So I did not expect that one little bombshell in there, little ginger bombshell. So when they actually did work through that and they got together, it's a yes from me. Right, next on my list, I feel like doing something more old school that I haven't watched in ages. Maybe Joey and Pacey. Okay, so it's a yes from me. The reason I put this in a yes is Pacey was always my crush when I was watching this show when I was young. To me, it has always been Pacey's show. I used to joke about it, saying it should be Pacey's Creek, just because I didn't really care much for Dawson at the time. And Dawson was lovely. He was genuinely lovely. Really nice guy. Pacey being the more bad boy, and Joey being so innocent, but drawn to each other. I just loved it so much. I can't really remember their first kiss. So let's go to YouTube and let's watch it, if it's on there. They actually have some fan edits. Should we watch one of these? Pacey and Joey, All Too Well. Oh, this one's got 1.1 million. Their first kiss. Yes, let's watch this. Throwback TV, let's go. I'm getting nostalgia already, not gonna lie.
So you ever want to speak again? Come on, Joe, say something.
He's so handsome.
Well, you told me what was going to happen.
Which was what, Joe? What happened?
I can't remember this at all. I don't know what they're arguing about.
There was another girl.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Reminded me once again what exactly I don't have.
Keep looking, you'll find it.
I won't.
You will. He's sat right in front of you.
I'm 16, and in my entire life, there have been 2 people who've actually known me, Pacey, Dawson and...
This AJ guy didn't know you.
Oh, AJ. Oh my God, I remember AJ.
I was going to say you, Pacey.
Right, this I'm starting to remember now. He starts yelling at her, doesn't he? Because he gets nervous.
What did you mean by that?
Oh, what?
About me knowing you better than anybody else.
Exactly what I said, Pacey.
I loved this show, guys. I loved it.
Trying to say,
Joe,
Pacey, why are we standing? I don't...
Honestly, that just made me remember how much I loved the show and how obsessed with these characters I was at the time. But while we're on the topic of Pacey and Joey, let's do Dawson and Joey. Did I have a Dawson and Joey on here? Yes, I did. I'm gonna put it's a no from me. And here's my reasoning. I felt as though they were too alike in ways. Dawson was quite bland to me. He didn't really give me any sort of heat or interest or passion or anything like that. Whereas Pacey provided all of that, and I think that they offset each other so perfectly that they just worked well as a team together. So Dawson and Joey is a no for me. Don't get me wrong, they acted the hell out of it, and sometimes I did question myself on occasion if they should be together. Like the first time that they slept together, I sort of remember that being a massive deal back then as well. But I much preferred Joey losing her V-card to Pacey, to be fair. But yes, moving on. Right, we also have, that'd be Dakara, right? What a shocker. It's a yes from me, guys. A massive yes. I feel as though I hadn't shipped 2 characters quite as much as when Dakara appeared on my screen. Obviously, I did reactions to it as well. So you guys got to experience like my roller coaster ride with them. I love that show. It will always have a special place in my heart as well. The way that Tom and Lauren worked opposite each other was amazing. Like the chemistry was undeniable between the 2 of them, and it showed on screen and it just made everything work. I think it's another one of those where they're not supposed to be together, so I ship it type of deal, because we have the devil himself and then someone that's unbelievably pure and good. And Jess, later on we find out that she was put there on purpose as well by God Almighty himself. So they definitely had ups and downs within their relationship, but it was always so strong in my eyes. I would have been very upset if that ship didn't set sail at the very end there. Dakara is one of my #1 ships of all time, so no surprise, it's a yes from me. Let's go to, because we did Chloe and Lucifer, we'll do Eve and Lucifer next. So for this one, I'm gonna put it's complicated. And the reason it's complicated for me is because my heart will always be with Chloe. It should always be Chloe and Lucifer. So when this chick rocked up, being all hot and cute and just amazing, I felt worried for my ship. To be fair, I wanted to hate her. I really wanted to hate her. But how can you? Because she's just so adorable. And I like what she stands for as well. And don't get me wrong, she ends up being with Maeve. So happy days there. The 2 of them kick ass together. But when we're talking about Lucifer and Eve, I felt as though together they didn't work as well, because she sort of brought his wild side out a little bit too much, I'd want to say, especially considering Lucifer didn't want that lifestyle at the time. And I feel like Chloe just brings out the good in him a lot easier than what Eve did. Eve was just so all about the fun and just living life to the fullest type of thing, which there's nothing wrong with. But with Lucifer, he's got a very addictive type of personality where he's either all in or not, you know? So yeah, it's complicated. We'll leave that one there. Should we do Castiel? Right, I'm gonna put Castiel in it's complicated. But before you all shout at me, I want to explain myself. I'm gonna put him in it's complicated because as I was watching the show itself, I never shipped the 2 of them together. That doesn't mean that I don't love them. I freaking love them. I'm obsessed with them, some might say. I think that Castiel and Dean are just incredible characters, and they're so layered as well. And I've just got chills thinking about it. Their goodbye, I was in utter shock. It got me so emotional. I didn't know how to feel during that scene. They acted the freaking hell out of it. And I've got a very strong feeling that the more I watch these fan edits, Angel, yes, I am talking to you. The more I watch these fan edits, the more I begin to ship them. So the reason it's complicated because during my watch of the show, I wasn't a shipper of them. And I feel as though after, especially with the love confession from Castiel, I'm more inclined to ship them. So while we're doing Castiel, it only makes sense for us to do Sam and Ruby. And surprise, surprise, it's complicated. So here's why I'm going to put this one in. It's complicated because I want to put it in it's a yes from me because the passion was just, yeah, it was there, wasn't it? It was very heated. Those scenes were very heated. I liked them a lot. I loved exploring Sam and his gifts and Ruby sort of being the devil on his shoulder, like manipulating him and just, yeah, making him do things he probably shouldn't have done. Definitely shouldn't have done. I don't know why I said probably. And then I'll put it's a no from me because of that, because Ruby was just a double-crossing cowbag really in the end, wasn't she? I do think that there was something between them. I think it surprised Ruby as well. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Let me know what you thought about that whole ship. So yeah, like my eyes loved it. My head, not so much. So it's complicated. Right, we've done that. Let's get into more old school stuff. So Friends, yes. Let's go. Ross and Rachel is a yes from me. 18 pages, front and back, yeses. Just lines and lines of yeses. They are soulmates, each other's lobsters. They just need to hold the claws and be together forever. Thank you very much. And while we're on that, let's go. Joey and Rachel is a no from me. Hated it. I wasn't a fan, did not approve. It didn't seem right. It felt incestuous to me. I'm not a fan. Oh my God, Stormfront and Homelander. It's a very strong no from me. My eyes cannot unsee a lot of the scenes that I watch in The Boys. As much as I wish that I could scrub them clean, they just linger like a bad smell. And this pairing right here is one of those moments. I don't want to see it. I hate every second of it. I don't want it on the screen. I don't want them together. No. No. Oh my God, right. So Otis and Maeve, it's such a strong yes from me. Just talking about this, I want to watch the first kiss all over again. So I'm going to do that. Oh, here we go.
What did it say?
This moment, I just got chills. I was waiting for this moment for so long. It does matter.
Matters to me.
It matters to me as well. I love Maeve. Hella girl crush on Emma, just gotta say.
There was something like, "Hi, Maeve.
He's so dark and cute. I love him.
I'm watching you on TV right now. And I wanted to let you know how proud I am of you. Always been you."
It's always been you. Look at that little smile. The L-bomb.
Anyway, it was stupid.
Did you mean it?
Of course he did. And there it is. 3 seasons until we got this kiss, guys. I love them. I love them. I'm still upset that they're not together at the end of the season and all the rest of it, but I'm hoping we'll get a season 4 and we'll get some extra Maeve and Otis. So we are on sex ed, so let's do Adam and Eric. It's complicated for me. So I love both characters and I love that they got brought together as well, but it is complicated because let's not forget Adam bullied Eric for a very long time before admitting, you know, his feelings to him and himself as well. Let's not forget that. The chemistry between them, I think, was really strong. Through season 3, I felt like we had such a solid exploration of the characters. In the end, Adam ended up being left. Eric wanted to go off and do his own journey. And I respected it, you know. He did the dirty and he cheated on Adam when he was in Nigeria. So confessing that was a massive thing. and then choosing to focus on himself because he's confused and not sure what he wanted at that time, like in that moment in his life. I just think was a really impressive thing for young couple to do. So yeah, it's complicated. So on one hand, I just love them and I wanted Adam to be happy and Eric and just be in love and all the rest of it. But Adam bullied Eric at the beginning and Eric ended up cheating on him. So it's very, very complicated. Love them, but that's my reasoning for that. We also have Jackson and Maeve. I'm going to put it's a no from me, you know. And I think the reason I'm going to say it's a no is because Jackson loved Maeve. Like, he was obsessed with Maeve from the beginning. He was like drawn by her because she was so mysterious, so interesting to the chicks that he's usually around in school and stuff, because obviously he's the popular guy, the swimmer, everyone can get anyone he wants basically. He's gorgeous. But the two of them together, I didn't think it worked. There was chemistry and there was heat and lust. There was lust there. Like when they had like the sex scenes and kissing scenes, like it was passionate and stuff, but it was very, very much just that, you know? There wasn't any emotional layer where they opening up to each other on an equal level. To me, it always felt like Jackson wanted more from it and Maeve was keeping it at arm's length. So that's why I'm putting it's a no from me. Oh, you know who we missed? We missed, not a shocker, Chloe and Pierce when we were doing the Lucifer stuff. So I'm gonna put it's a no from me. My eyes loved seeing Pierce, and obviously Chloe's very pretty. So my eyes were into it. I hated the character though of Pierce. I hated the distrust and manipulation and anger and the fact that he was trying to kill my guy, you know? So yes, it's a no from me. Plus, I didn't find chemistry was there between Pierce and Chloe. I just felt like suddenly they were getting married and like, I was like, huh? It just felt very odd. It's a no. Do you know what I want to do now? I want to do Clark and Lana from Smallville. I loved these. And I know people are very passionate about this. And they don't ship the two of them together. I'm a shipper, okay? I don't care what you say. It was always Lana and Clark for me. Not about this Lex and Lana, no. I don't mind Lois and Clark and stuff, but my heart will always remain Lana and Clark. It's a yes from me. And I do kind of want to see some scenes from them, just to spark off a bit of nostalgia. So let's have a gander. Let's watch Clark and Lana are caught by Jonathan and Martha, because I feel like this is going to be hilarious. I don't really have a memory of it, but... Oof, 6:30 in the morning? No tar, lad, no tar. He is freaking beautiful. I just look at his face.
Hi.
No wonder I was obsessed with him.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
How did we fall asleep?
I told you we should have gone to the tower.
Jeez, but ow, ow!
Oof.
Shh, ow, that hurts so much. Look, okay. Look, my dad's not gonna be up for about 15 minutes and we gotta get out of here. Well, you gotta get out of here.
I'm distracted by
for breakfast sounds like
his
fun.
abs.
What?
How can you not ship them, guys? I don't get it. What's wrong with yous?
Mr.
Their face.
I can explain.
He's
Clark
fuming.
and I made this decision together, so if you're angry, you should be angry at both of us.
We're not mad. But this is...
Martha's not mad.
You're both in new territory.
Yes, that's one way to explain it.
Lana, this is about a whole lot more than just you. So if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to my son alone, please.
Scary. I'd be scared, to be fair. Do you know what? I'm dreading this moment with Grayson. I've got many a year ahead of me yet, though. It's fine. It will always be Lana and Clark in my eyes, but we also have Chloe and Clark. And for me, it's a no. I was not a fan. Like, I thought the friendship was great between the two of them. Love was clearly there, but again, very one-sided. Like, Chloe seemed to always want more of a romantic relationship, and, well, Clark only had eyes for Lana. So, yeah, it's gonna be a no. Just, I wasn't vibing with that ship. We've got Rory and Dean. Rory and Dean, I'm gonna put it's complicated. Okay, I'm gonna put it's complicated. To me, I felt like they were similar personalities. They could have potentially got together, but it would have been very dull, you know? I don't think there was much excitement there. I think Rory was bored by Dean. And sometimes he was just a bit whiny for me. And I think maybe it was just young love and it needed to happen. You sort of always remember your first, don't you? That first relationship where you get the butterflies and you're head over heels for each other, but then you have like one argument and it feels like the end of the world. I feel like that's very much a Rory and Dean type of situation. Just to clarify, like, I never really shipped Rory with, well, anyone when I was watching the show. I wasn't like, oh, these two need to be together. I just never got that. To me, I always wanted Rory to just be independent and sort of, yeah, just kick ass basically. And the boys that came into her life, I was never much of a fan of. We also had Rory and Jess, and I'm gonna put it's complicated in there as well. I think Rory was too good for Jess when they were young and the first time they got together and stuff. And then I sort of felt as though Jess was too good for Rory later on, like during the reboot. I felt like he grew up and Rory didn't. I didn't like the writing of Rory in the reboot, I'll be honest, guys, because the passion was still there, you know, like the heat was still there. Like that kiss was amazing, like everything was great heat wise, but not, you know, head wise and relationship wise. It was just a no-go. While we're on Gilmore Girls, Luke and Lorelai, strong guess from me. So if I shipped anyone in the show, it was Luke and Lorelai. They're the only ones that I cared about. The will they, won't they lasted forever. And when they finally kissed, it, honest to God, it was the best thing ever. And don't get me wrong, the kiss itself wasn't like hot per se, but when you have seasons and seasons and seasons of this build-up, and you have to remember that they were the best of friends, so the first kiss isn't, it's gonna be a little bit awkward, but still like, oh, you know, this is surprising me. I actually quite like it. So I felt that they played the scene perfectly when they first got together. And then what I liked about it was that afterwards, it was more realistic of a couple. They, you know, kissed now and again, and they had like relationship-y problems and issues or whatever. It just, yeah, it just felt like a strong watch for me. So Luke and Lorelai, yes, yes, yes. Nick and Jess, yes. I shipped Nick and Jess from the beginning. The chemistry was undeniable, and the way that the writing kept them apart for quite a while as well was brilliant, and the build-up was just really satisfactory. And then when we finally got it, we got it, you know? As first kisses go, oof, it was a tasty one. It was a good kiss, that one. And they obviously went through it like afterwards and stuff, very roller coaster, but they're just soulmates in my eyes. I'll tell you what, we'll do Lost Girl, because Lost Girl, I'm sure you're sick of hearing this from me, guys, but if you do not know, Lost Girl was one of my, well, it was the first show that I ended up in like a fandom for, getting sucked in like on the social medias and tweeting about it after every episode and waiting for a new episode to air, and then watching like the episode recaps and trying to predict what was going to happen. And it was just really exciting at that time. And during my life at that moment when Lost Girl sort of appeared, I was in a really dark place. I recently lost my dad. Work was difficult. Like I was just going through it. and I found so much comfort in Lost Girl. I ended up making so many friends through it as well. It was just such a nice experience and one that I hold dearly. The show itself is a Canadian show with great actors. Towards the end, like, I wasn't a fan of the writing. I'll just say that. I wasn't a massive fan of the writing towards the end, but the comedy, just, it cheered me up when I was down. And the ship, of all ships for me, which I'm sure people will be against, but I don't care, it's Valkubus, okay? Valkubus is the one for me. So Tamsin and Bo, I just adored the two of them. I was obsessed with Tamsin. I thought she was such a cool character. She was a Valkyrie, she was very badass. She was quite evil, but she had a heart, you know the type. So I was very into it. And Rachel Scarsden, again, massive girl crush on her. And then when I met her, she was just so lovely, which then I was just like, oh, I love this show, like everything about it. I feel like Tamsin and Bo were just really good for each other, and the show obviously didn't. So that was a shame. I feel as though they could have been something special. There was a bit of bias. This is my opinion, obviously. There was a bit of bias, and people loved Dr. Lauren. What was her name? It was Lauren, but Dr. Lewis. Lauren Lewis, right. Lauren and Bo, people loved. For me, it's a no. I didn't get it. I didn't want it. Felt like Dr. Lewis was a little bit manipulative, to be honest. I just wasn't a fan. And I know I'm gonna offend people by that, and I'm sorry for it. It's just a TV show though, just an opinion, that's it. Next. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do Hughie and Annie. So, Hughie and Annie is a yes. I think that their relationship has been doomed from the start. I felt like they had so much chemistry and they were looking like a perfect couple, but from the very beginning, they have just had obstacle after obstacle thrown their way, and it's like the whole Buffy and Angel thing. And apparently what I love the most is when they're not supposed to be together, but they just can't help themselves. That is me with Annie and Hughie as well. They are from two different worlds. Hughie is on the run, Annie is within the Seven, so complicated they are. But they just seem to fit, you know? They're so lovely together. Yes, I want them to be together. I want them to work through all this. And I want Hughie to bring Annie back down. I feel like Annie's getting lost at the minute. And I want Hughie's heart to pull Annie back down to earth and less butcheresque vibes from Annie. Please and thank you. Okay, what about Elena? Damon and Elena is a yes from me, guys. For those that ship Stephan and Elena, love to you know, but you're wrong. It's a no from me. They're great, like the characters separate, love them, but it's the bad boy with the good girl that I seem to be very, very into. So Damon has always been my number one pick. There is no other option in my eyes. The heat between them. I will never forget this scene here. Do you know what? I'm gonna watch it now. It do be spicy, guys. Prepare yourself. Oh, I love the music as well. Don't. Look at his eyes. Oh, could just swim in them. I'll probably have to mute this. I'll be dancing to myself. But the heat in this, you can't deny it, my friends. You cannot deny it. And I think it comes across that they were together in real life as well. Just saying, just saying. Right, what else do we have? A bit of Pushing Daisies. I mean, I should probably put this in It's Complicated, but it was also a very strong yes from me, so I'm gonna trust that and put it as a yes from me. But the reason I was gonna put It's Complicated is because they couldn't technically be together. They couldn't touch. We cannot forget their kiss through the cellophane, you know? I just love this show as well, guys. It was a show like nothing I'd ever seen before. Like, they had that narrator, in the background, and the comedy and the colors were so vibrant. The cast was just unbelievable. And then obviously the chemistry then between these two leads that just took my heart. I kind of want to watch the show again. I wonder if I'll love it as much now as when I did when it aired. I don't know. We also have Caroline. For those that don't know, that is Klaus and Caroline from The Vampire Diaries, and it's a yes from me. I think that the two of these were so hot together. Klaus, Maeve, and yes, he is a bad guy. I get it, but he also was just charming and hot AF, you know? And with Caroline, she was one of my favorite characters. I felt like her character growth was one of the biggest on the show, because I kind of hated her at first. Definitely hated her at first. And then the more I watched her, the more I just fell in love with her. The things that she went through on the show were just crazy. And I don't have it on here, but obviously Stephan and Caroline were a thing as well. Didn't like that. Didn't like it. And that was towards the end of the show. Some people loved it, you know, it just wasn't for me. Caroline was always endgame in my head, a canon, some might say. When I heard that the originals were gonna be a thing, like that whole show was gonna be a thing, I was just praying and praying and praying that Caroline would rock up in the originals and then they would just be a thing together on that show. But obviously when The Vampire Diaries ended or whatever, it didn't go down that route. So, I mean, no spoilers to the originals because I haven't seen that entire show. I've only seen season 1. And like I say, I was just praying the whole time that Caroline would rock up, but she didn't. So yeah, I do hope to watch the originals at some point. So yeah, keep the spoilers away for now. But that ship, so passionate. The scene in the woods when they actually got together, holy. Right, what else do we have? Oh my God, we have Lexi and Sloane. McSteamy. I'm gonna put it in, it's a yes for me. I kind of wanted to put it in It's Complicated because they did have some dodgy storylines, shall we say. There are many ups and downs for the two of them. I mean, it's Grey's Anatomy, so obviously a lot of tears were had. There was something so magnetic about the two of these together, and every time that they were apart, they always seemed to come back together, you know? And they had their own things with other people, but that chemistry just remained, and that heat always remained between them. I will never, and I repeat, I will never get over the ending of Lexi. I think the death of Lexi is probably one of the top 5 killer deaths for me that just hurt so much. I think it popped up on my Twitter at some stage, like, and I watched it again, and then I was like, why do I do this to myself? It was just, it's so emotional, that scene. That the acting on Grey's Anatomy will forever hit me in the feels, guys. So yes, McSteamy and Lexi is a yes from me. There was a thing between Lexi and George at one point. That'd be going right there. It was a definite no for me. I just wasn't feeling that. We also have Meredith and McDreamy. It's a yes from me. These were the sort of ship that I just always had, but it was always like they were just endgame from the beginning to me in my eyes. Like it was a very real type of relationship as well, where you have your complications, but the love always remains. You know, it doesn't really go anywhere. That was the sort of relationship that Meredith and Derek had, and I just loved it. I loved it a lot. So yes, nice easy one there. We also have April and Jackson. This one is definitely complicated. I mean, I'm gonna move it into this pile just so you know. But for right now, it was definitely complicated because they separated so freaking much. And in my head, it was always, why are you creating situations to self-destruct this relationship when you're so clearly so well suited? Again, my opinion, I'm sorry if you disagree, but it's a yes from me because some of the scenes that these pair shared, very hot indeed, very hot indeed. Oof, we only have One Tree Hill left now. So this is probably the first one where I'm gonna put both ships in it's a yes from me, which is rare because usually if I like one ship, I'm against the other and I'm like, no, stay away because this is endgame for me. Whereas these were the first ones where I was so confused about what I wanted because I could see long term with both of them. So at the beginning, Brooke and Lucas, it was that whole like they shouldn't be together, but they are, and it's all like hot and steamy and yes. And then obviously when they grew up and then things calmed down, to me it was just, it could have been plain sailing. But my heart of hearts, it was Peyton and Lucas for me. This was the pairing that I just always wanted together. And yes, Brooke and Lucas were cute and I was enjoying it. I liked the passion, I liked the heat, I liked the excitement. But endgame, Peyton and Lucas, please. And it's so complicated as well. I should be putting them in both columns because Brooke and Peyton were best mates. That's why it should be in It's Complicated, but I just enjoyed it too much to leave it there, you know. I've enjoyed this so much, guys, and if you would like to see more of these types of videos, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to do more of these. So much fun. Give me some ideas, guys. I'm more than happy to explore them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a cheeky thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to, but as always, there's no pressure here. I do live stream on Twitch every Friday and Saturday, and we can do these tier lists live as well if you want to see that. So yeah, head on over to my Twitch. The link is in the description, along with my Patreon, guys, if you want to see extended and exclusive videos of all of my reactions in their full form. Head on over to Patreon, guys. You will not be disappointed, I can assure you. But without further ado, I hope to see you for the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.